that'll take us over to the main event there in Abu Dhabi for the Fight Night card. This was an interesting matchup. We had the former world champion Robert Whitaker versus Reinier the Ritter. Now, two guys that are going in different directions right now. Reinier entered this fight on a 4-fight win streak, with his last win being a destructive second round dominant performance over Bo Nickel. And Whitaker's first fight since a submission loss to Chimaev. Both the same age, but to me, it felt like Whitaker's been in more wars. And he has. He's been in with everybody. But the Ritter felt like the younger guy to me, the fresher guy, a little more in the tank, and the bigger man, obviously, the stronger guy. He is so big. I mean, that guy gets his hands on you and he latches. You ain't getting out of there. And those big knees. I thought Whitaker was starting to fade in the second round a little bit. I thought in the third round, whoa, Whitaker might get stopped right now. This guy's going to put it on him. And the Ritter maybe got overconfident, but he came in trying to throw one of those brutal knees to the midsection that he always does so well in places. And he got caught with a bomb by Whitaker and almost knocked out. Unbelievable fight, unbelievable third round. I was so impressed how the Ritter came back so quickly and got back to his feet and cleared his head. And it looked like to me, wow, he might be out of there. The last rounds, but these guys were spent, right? And I just thought, again, there was a little more in the tank and a little fresher fighter in the Ritter. It was a split decision. I agree with the winner being the Ritter. How'd you see it? What'd you make of the fight? What'd you make of the decision?
It was a tight fight. And you hate to have a loser. It was a good fight. In a fight that tight, I think one of the talents that come into play, and it is a talent, an ability, it's not by accident, is who makes the other guy fight their fight more. I talk about Carlos Monzon, the great middleweight champion. He used to make guys fight his fight on the outside, where he used his length, he used his height, he used a lot of great abilities. And that was part of why, what was his record? So you'll find it. Bear with me and forgive me, but his record was like maybe 80-something wins and like 2 losses and 3 losses, whatever, if that. But a tremendous middleweight champion. But
pretty good, you. You're good, you. 87-3 with 9 draws.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's why I talk about him. I mean, the guy, and he fought a lot of good fighters back then. So, fighting your fight, making the opponent deal with your fight, where you're comfortable fighting, is a great talent. And I think that talent was shown by De Ritter. Where he got his hands on. He's so big. He's so strong. I mean, the guy is ridiculous. But the size difference with him and Whitaker was really, you look at it and say, wow, look how big this guy. He reminds me a little bit about that Irish fighter. What's his name?
Ian Gary?
Yeah, just the way he looks, the build, even the way he goes about himself in the octagon a little bit, sometimes with his style. But once he was able to put his hands on Whitaker to the point that he wanted to and was able to, I think that it started to wear Whitaker down a little bit. Whitaker I'll tell you, De Ritter looked like he was getting gassed. It's like he got a second wind, about halfway through. But in the end, I think you were right. They both, it was a grueling fight. It was a grinder of a fight, and that's what he does. I think that's the right word. He grinds you. He does the striking, but when he puts his hands on you, Whitaker with the striking had an edge. When he was able to keep space for me, Whitaker was at his best. Where he was able to have a little space and be able to land some of those strikes, where he did a nice job and he had moments that, again, that had him ahead, had him even, had him behind, where it made for that kind of tight fight. And then in the third round, boy, oh boy, it looked like he was going to get a stoppage. It looked like Whitaker was going to get a stoppage where, the Ritter came in. I talk about in boxing, knockdowns and knockouts happen from mistakes, Forget about the power. I get it. But they happen from technical mistakes. They do. And even in this, same thing, the Ritter came in sloppy, came in a little careless, came in reaching with a big shot, trying to catch and Whitaker from the southpaw position hit him with a counter right hook. Right on the chin. Bang! Man, and then he jumped on him and he did some damage. But give credit to all these guys. They're monsters. They're beasts. They're animals in a good way. They really are. The Ritter survived it. And he survived. And then he had his moment later in the round, which really is extraordinary. It really is. And it speaks to these athletes. It speaks to them mentally, physically, their conditioning, everything. But at the end of the day, wow, it was close. I would have liked to see a draw. I know people will probably jump on me, Teddy, a draw. Yeah, well, we can't have a draw every once in a while in the UFC. But, but Ritter's the guy that's on the upswing. I'm not saying that's why it went this way, but I'm going to say what I have to say because I have eyes. I have something in between my ears, believe it or not. I do. I have some brain cells in there. I'm going to say that you had a close fight like that. One guy's on the upswing. The other guy, the former champion, maybe a little bit, I don't want to say downswing, but a little bit trajectory isn't quite what the trajectory is for the Ritter. And what happens? Let's give it to the guy on the upswing. But either way, a terrific fight and a terrific performance by both guys. Is that fair?
Absolutely. The great fight, as you said, great performance by both. Great breakdown by you. And Robert Whitaker has now lost 2 in a row. The Ritter has now won 5 in a row. Anytime Robert Whitaker fights, I'm a huge fan. And the Ritter has made me a big fan too. So I look forward to watching both of these guys. But the Ritter is flying up those rankings. And only bigger and better fights to come for him.
Yeah, and you said it, bigger. He's a bigger guy. He is, man, he has that body. That's the length, the size, everything.